Good evening and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime News Live from Studio 1 of my media Prime Television here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is Fon Quinter. The news starts now. Now, Cameroon has received its first dose of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccines arrived the country yesterday, August 9, 2021, thanks to a combined effort of the African Vaccine and Acquisition Trust and the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Kebi has details of the story.
The Cameroon government has received the first consignment of the Johnson & Johnson doses of vaccine. Over 150,000 doses of the vaccine was received recently at the Ewane International Airport. According to the director of the Central African Bureau of the UN Economic Community for Central Africa, Antonio Pedro, the essence of the EU's networking initiative is, of course, to seek solutions to secure the vaccines.
Congratulations to the government of Cameroon for this initiative, for creating the foundations to ensure that more and more Cameroonians are vaccinated.
The vaccines manufactured in South Africa are made available to African Union member countries through a well-coordinated platform. Cameroonian officials have therefore urged the entire population to get vaccinated against COVID-19 following the arrival and availability of the over 150,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Adding his voice to the call, Public Health Minister Madauda Malachi says Cameroonians should consider the vaccine as another life-saving way out. It should be noted that Cameroon has received more than 1 million doses of vaccines since April, but less than 25% of the vaccines have not been used. Cameroonians now have the opportunity to choose between the Chinese Sinopharm, Oxford AstraZeneca, as well as the Johnson & Johnson jabs. However, vaccine hesitancy in the country is still on the increase.
A financial assistance worth some 360,000 francs CFA in the days ahead be distributed to some poverty-stricken families in Cameroon's crisis-hit northwest region. The financial assistance aims at building substantial skills in agriculture and rearing animals amid the Anglophone crisis. Details with Eileen Sama.
The aid that will reach the beneficiaries in the coming days is thanks to an initiative of the Safety Net project instituted by the government of Cameroon to aid families suffering from the negative outcome of the Anglophone crisis since 2016. This information was made public by Micheline Jock, coordinator of the project, during the launching of a 2-day workshop in Bamenda, headquarters of the Northwest region, recently. The workshop, which was geared at strategizing on measures to make sure stakeholders properly select the targeted family members from the 16 shortlisted subdivisions to benefit from the project, will elevate 1,000 poverty-stricken families in the Northwest due to the armed conflict. For the record, the initiative is in its second phase in the restive Northwest and is financed by the World Bank to assist families affected by the crisis. It is worth noting that beneficiaries will include the very vulnerable, poor and internally displaced persons in that region. The Safety Net project for Cameroon has as developmental objective to support the putting in place of a basic national safety net system, including piloting targeted cash transfers and public works programs for the poorest and most vulnerable groups of persons in participating areas within the recipient country.
CPD and militants of FACO4 have been called upon to shun hatred and embrace peace. The call was made by the Central Committee's representatives during the annual General Assembly that took place over the weekend in Tigo. Details with Kuma Onore.
Militants of FACO4 section of the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement have been called upon to shun division and create more friends than enemies, especially as they are bracing up for the reorganization of the party in the days ahead. Senator Papinatu Fonderson congratulated militants for their resilience and for standing by the party in recent time, which permitted the party to win all the seats in elections organized nationwide.
We should give privilege to creating new friends than to be creating new enemies or breaking up old friendships. We should make sure that we use it as an opportunity to create new friends.
On his part, the section president for Fakofo section, Comrade Elame Victor Ikome, thanked militants for the support given to them to permit the party win all the seats in the Senate, Parliament, Council, and the Regional Council. He used the occasion to enumerate some of the section's achievements for the past 5 years. Comrade Elame Victor, however, regretted the fact that the section's executive could not assess some subsections under Fakofo during his mandate due to the ongoing socio-political crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic.
That socio-political crisis seriously hampered the activities of the party. We could not meet as we used to meet before.
The YCBDM section president, Comrade Valerie Ikomendisa, regretted the fact that youths are often relegated to the backdrop with nothing to showcase when party activities are concerned. Comrade Usamatu Joso, WCPDM section president, saluted the effort of the section executives to include more women in politics, as women have always stood behind the party in Fakofo to take it to the level it is today. The conference ended with a motion of support to the national chairman and head of state for good stewardship of the party.
Well, the Commissioner of the Central Police Post, Senior Superintendent Junke has reminded his collaborators and subordinates of their responsibility in providing peace to the population of Limbe. This was during a General Assembly which brought together elements of the 3 police district stations under his command. Details with Kuma Honore once more.
The Limbe Central Police Boss, Commissioner Jean-Pierre Simon Yebi, has reminded his collaborators and subordinates of their specific roles as far as their different posts of responsibilities in the discharge of security across Limbe are concerned. Commissioner Yebe Simon was speaking during a General Assembly grouping together his collaborators of the 3 police district stations in Limbe as well as police officers under his command. The Central Police Boss based his reorientation talk on a series of administrative decrees signed by the Delegate General in charge of national security in 2004 and 2012 respectively. Commissioner Yebi noted that the decrees had provided for all responses to the security problems that would arise in the constituency placed under police stations, yet its implementation still poses a problem. Commissioner Yebi regretted. He went further to remind his collaborators and subordinates of what the text as per the above decrees prescribed and what is expected of them vis-a-vis their call to provide security to the Limbe population.
After the recording of your security needs here in Limbe with administrative authorities, traditional rulers, mayors, the Central Police Station have organized some training for its personnel. Now the Central Police is ready to give you the response for all those security needs that you have reported to us.
Commissioner Yebe was equally particular about the responsibilities of the Rapid Intervention Unit of the police, commonly called SC, going by the decree signed by the Delegate General of the National Security on the 30th of December 2004. The Central Police Boss reminded the SC commander that their mission was basically to ensure the security of the state and the population in areas of terrorism and to carry out investigations and report back to the hierarchy. He added that they needed to do their duty based on the prescription of the text that created their unit. Commissioner Yebe Simon equally reminded his collaborators to step up their level of vigilance, especially within the context of the socio-political crisis, and also as Limbe shall have to play host to the African Cup of Nations early next year. He prescribed the need for the intensification of police patrols as well as frequent checks and identifications of persons moving in and out of the city. Commissioner Yebe concluded that the police officers should ensure the full respect of human rights of the population while carrying out their duties.
Still ahead, 3 Cameroonian soldiers have reportedly died following an attack perpetrated by the Boko Haram Islamist sect at the Sagme police post in the far north region of Cameroon. Student journalist on internship Ewane says the attack took place on Sunday.
Some 3 Cameroonian soldiers have died following clashes with militants of the Islamic sect Boko Haram in the far north region of Cameroon. The clash occurred in the early hours of Sunday, 8th August 2021 in the locality of Sagme, Logon and Shari Division, far north region. The insurgents looted military equipment consisting of 2 machine guns, ammunition and an army pickup. The fresh attack is the second that the locality of Sagme has recorded within a fortnight. Worth noting is the fact that the attack comes after Cameroon's Defense Minister Joseph Betty Asomo visited troops fighting Boko Haram insurgency in the far north region. During the visit, the minister stated they are working towards ensuring soldiers' safety in that part of the country. Notwithstanding what has been done and what needs to be done is still a call for concern.
We now talk about twin fire incident recorded in Cameroon over the weekend, one in Yaoundé and one in Kongsamba-Mungo Division, Lithowa region of Cameroon. The incident left enormous material damage, but no deaths and casualties. Details in the following report.
Occupants of this 2-story building watching helplessly as flames consume a part of the house, alongside household gadgets they were unable to save. It was at about 1 p.m. on August 8, 2021 that occupants of the 3-floor apartment opposite Chapelle Obele in the nation's political capital saw fire ripping through the roof of the 3rd floor. Sources say the flame was as a result of haphazard connection of cables, as occupants are accused of illegally connecting themselves after agents of the electricity supply company in Cameroon disconnected them for not paying electricity bills. No casualty was recorded, and it was thanks to the timely intervention of the firefighters unit that the flame was contained and brought to save. Another fire incident at Kachevo in Kongsamba-Mungo Division, Lithowa region of Cameroon, consumed the content of a family home. According to reports, the flame over the weekend was ignited by a 7-year-old boy identified as Mochum Junior. The kid reportedly dropped a burning paper on the mattress and stepped out after realizing it was in flames. When I saw the lighter on the bed, I picked it up and lit. I took a paper and burned as well. When the flame started, I came out where there was no fire. Grandfather of the 7-year-old kid says, a child of 7 sat on a mattress and lit a lighter. It caught the mattress and then sprayed. We were in the parlor, and when it got serious, we were informed Gino had lit fire in the room. Before entering, it had spread all over the house. The fire incidents over the weekend saw no casualties or deaths, but material damage recorded was enormous.
Now training in a higher education institution in a SIMAC country and capitalization in another country in the sub-region will soon be possible. This is a result of the Council of Ministers responsible for higher education and scientific research of the SIMAC member states joined gang with details in the following report.
With reference to the Libreville Declaration of 2005, university officials mandated the transfer and capitalization of education in the CEMAC zone. The project, which has just been approved by the Council of Ministers, must however go through the Conference of Presidents before being adopted. The meeting was chaired by Jacques Famdongo, Cameroonian Minister of Higher Education, who gave his favorable opinion on the draft regulation setting the technical modalities of management of the system of capitalizable and transferable credits in the CEMAC sub-region. This is regarding higher education, research and vocational training. Jacques Famdongo equally stressed on the principle of academic mobility for teachers. This measure was proposed last April by the extraordinary session of the Conference of Central African University Rectors and the heads of research organizations. It is considered as one of the most integrative projects in the sub-region. Stemming from the Libreville Declaration of February 11, 2005, it aims to bring together resources and skills to provide the community with quality higher education and professional training. Above all, it is in line with the labor market and standards goal. According to sources, 3 other projects were validated as part of the convergence of the CEMAC higher education system. These are the project to create the CEMAC Label of Excellence entrusted to the Foundation for Studies and Research for International Development and the CEMAC Diploma Supplement Project. The adopted text will be transmitted for further approval to higher authorities, in particular the Conference of Presidents of CEMAC.
Now, the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Social Economy and Handicraft, Basilique Achille, has reassured business persons in the southwest region of Cameroon of the advantages they stand to gain if they become accredited to approved management centers. He was speaking in Limbe during the launching of the 6th edition of the Awareness Raising Caravan on approved management centers. Details with Kuma Honore in the following report.
Approved management centers are private bodies responsible for providing assistance in management and in the fulfillment of various administrative obligations to small and medium-sized enterprises and the handicraft sector with a turnover of below or equal to 100 million francs CFA. Approved management centers promote the migration of actors from the informal to the formal sector with guaranteed traceability in economic momentum. Despite this monitoring role, approved management centers remain unknown to their targets. It is against this backdrop that the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Social Economy and the Handicraft, Minister Basilique, since 2016 embarked on a national mobilization action to sensitize the population on the activities of the approved management centers in sectoral administration and in the private sector, as well as to sensitize small and medium-sized enterprises in order to generate massive membership among others. Minister Basilique was in Limbe recently to launch activities of the 6th edition of the Awareness Raising Caravan on approved management centers, during which he called on the business population of the Southwest region to be abreast with the advantages they stand to benefit by becoming members of the approved management centers.
The various approved management centers of the region will receive more training, and the various representatives from ministries here who participate in this project are going to work in synergy over the next 2 days to ensure that the very critical instruments in terms of not only disseminating the best practices, but at the same time also ensuring that the latest rules, laws in the domain are well disseminated.
On her part, the Vice National President of the Approved Management Centers, Madam Malis Jenga, who doubles as the Approved Management Center President for the Southwest region, schooled participants on the advantages they stand from benefiting as accredited members of the center, such as free tax exoneration for 2 years, tax incentives, amongst others. For 2 days, participants were enriched with thematic presentations on the institutional position of approved management centers, specializations, and proposals for the better promotion of approved management centers.
Now, the 2nd edition of a Wealth Transformative Mindset session dubbed the Billionaire Mindset 2, organized by the founder and CEO of the Tex Global and Value Chain Services, Take Samuel, took place over the weekend in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. Nolinga, they attended the mind-changing conference and now reports.
Seated in this hall are Cameroonians who strongly believe making it in the modern land is still very possible, but not without the right orientation. That is why, while using his life's experience as a measuring rod for becoming a hero from zero, Teke Samuel, Chief Executive Officer and founder of Tex Global and Value Chain Services Limited, is reawakening mindsets to think into wealth during the second edition of the Billionaire's Mindset Conference.
The conference is all about reawakening the mind or the mindset of the average Cameroonian, understanding that we have the capacity to succeed. We don't need to push blames or shift blames to the government or to our relatives. It is time for us to work our success out ourselves right here in Cameroon. Everyone can make it.
Massively attended by both state and non-state dignitaries, stakeholders and other individuals, the second edition of the Billionaire's Mindset Conference has also been remarkable with the outstanding lectures from seasoned facilitators in the likes of Cindy Emade, who also took time off her busy schedule to inspire many with her success story.
You won't stop, you keep working. The strongest people in life are the people who will follow as many times as you can imagine.
After being put on the hot seat to narrate the secret behind his success, Teke Samuel decides to put all the answers in one book titled The Billionaire Mindset, which he freely offered to the participants before the end of the conference. A mindset transformatory session it's been all about, but how differently do these Cameroonians now think?
I must confess it's an amazing experience, mind-blowing, mind-changing, really, really impactful. I'm very sure I've left here a very different person, a better person.
I came here with another idea, with another notion of how youths can actually be empowered. But with the billionaire mindset today, it has made me understand that we as youths, we are responsible for our own finances. You understand? We are responsible for what we do to make ourselves succeed rather than blaming it on the government.
With the reoccurrence in Cameroonians risking odds to attain greener pastures overseas and many living and dying in abject poverty, through this conference and many other schemes like the Tex Breed, an initiative to encourage crowdfunding, amongst others, Teke Samuel believes an emerging Cameroon is possible by 2035.
Now, the University Institute of the Gov of Guinea has launched a series of orientation workshops to enable successful candidates choose the right fields of studies and for suitable career paths. Nolinga there visited the University Institute complex and now reports.
Sitting and making the advanced level general certificate of education as well as a French end of course examination, the baccalaureate, is one thing, but choosing the right career path or field of studies is what's most challenging for the laureates. With the official release of some of these examinations already underway, the University Institute of the Gov of Guinea is coming in with the launch of a chain of orientation workshops for succeeding candidates as thus.
The objective of this workshop at the University Institute of the Gov of Guinea is to give the opportunity to the students who obtain a GC advanced level to have good orientation as far as their future is concerned.
Hooking up with this aspiring to be university student, today's orientation workshop session, she says, has been quite impactful.
I did it with economic, history and literature. So I came to UAG to find out if the course I want to offer is at UAG. I want to do banking and finance. So I chose UAG because UAG is affiliated to a lot of universities internationally and nationally.
Created in 1993, the University Institute of the Gov of Guinea is a group of 3 higher learning institutions located in the same campus at the Bassa neighborhood here in Douala. Specialized in the fields of commerce and management, communication and information, industry, new technologies and paramedical sciences, the IUG is one of the most prestigious private higher institutions in Cameroon. But this year, quite a few more innovations have been adopted.
The new approach, the management of our school, which permits us to have a good maths, a good level, a new national diploma, particularly Oceans.
Talking of innovation, we have opened many other specialties this academic year, in which we have at UAG e-commerce, that's new. We also have insurance. We were not forming students for insurance before. We have created and opened insurance this new academic year. That means this 2021-2022 academic year. We also have project management. Those specialties will be operational this academic year.
Besides the legendary hospitality hospitality given to visitors at the IUG, the aforementioned trainings also have an international character, from content to programs and qualifications of the teaching staff.
We have road and civil engineering. Apart from that, at Easter, we still have also software engineering. So those are new specialties. We have to open this academic year at Easter. Coming back to Easter now, which is the school that trains students for sanitary and health. We can talk of nutrition and dietetics. Then we have to open also option, which is talking of opticians.
Added to that, the IUG also has a track record of involving with organizations, national and multinational enterprises in the supervision of students through exchanges and academic internships alongside pre-employment trainings. Hence, choosing one of these specialities is nonetheless a determinant factor for an aspiring student's career path.
At EEG, we train leaders since 1993.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News on My Major Prime Television. The news was produced by Ewane, Nolinga, and compiled by Lasha Kingsley. My name is Fon Quinter. Prime comes about exactly 7 p.m. with Militants. Stay with us. Good night.